Hello guys, welcome on back to Spider-Man. We'll be continuing where we left off, starting with picking up this backpack.
All units.
My underarm webs. Thought they might help me glide short distances, but they never really worked. Looked cool though.
And this episode will be the last one we have of collecting backpacks and unlocking all the towers and all the petty crimes around the city. At least at the start of the game. So all you guys can take comfort in that next episode will be
I thought
story
web swinging
stuff.
would let me get pizzas delivered fast. And it did. Fast and smashed.
But before we get all to the story stuff and all that, we got a few more backpacks to find and petty crimes that need to be solved and taken care of. We'll be pretty sure we will be finishing that all up in this episode. But if it isn't this episode that we finish it, we definitely should be finishing it in the next episode. Because we run out of recording time in this episode. And we pick up basically immediately where we end this episode for next episode. But yeah, I mean, that'll be next episode. But yeah, it's like, like long story short, we are almost done with
Look at it this way.
all
If I'd
the
actually let you break
uninteresting,
in,
boring,
we'd be going away for a lot longer.
boring stuff that some people don't enjoy doing in open world games.
Not
What
getting
those
much
people
coverage.
fail to
I should look for
realize
more
or
towers
not
to activate.
acknowledge is that doing all the side missions and stuff
All units.
is how you get overpowered and get levels and be properly leveled for main story stuff. So you're always properly leveled, and you shouldn't experience any major difficulties or anything like that in the main story. So there's that. Aha! And there's another tower that we have reactivated. Got some more thugs down there, up to no good in our neighborhood. Anyone know what that is a reference to?
Service and knock out any criminals. It says so right on the sign.
Anyone who knows what that was a reference to, you can leave it down in the comments. Let me know if you know what that's a reference to. And with that, we'll kindly be kicking and punching these ne'er-do-wells in the face and webbing them to the
Good
ground.
old-fashioned holdup. Vintage crime stopping right there.
Thanks.
And, just each one of those we complete now will be less of those that we'll have to deal with later in the game once more side missions pop up.
My prom boutonniere. Crushed when I had to fight Fisk. That kind of symbolizes my luck with relationships.
And as the deeper into the story we go, we will obviously be unlocking more side missions. So the more of them we do now, will be less of them we have to do later when there's more story stuff and we don't get overwhelmed too badly by all the side missions and main story stuff. And right there, just misreading the map a little bit on where that next backpack is. It was under the building, not
All units advised.
not
Vehicle pursuit.
Hey,
by the
my
stairs.
Mark 1 web shooters. Managed to improve the storage capacity a lot since then, but the basic design's still the same.
And I mean, it can be fun to find all the collectibles. You learn a little bit more about, characters and the world that they live in. And, sometimes there also might even be, little Easter eggs to, like, that character's history or anything like that. So it's always, it unlocks upgrade tokens and all that for suits you can unlock and upgrade. So it's all good to do. And as we stop this getaway and chase for these ne'er-do-wells and bad neighbors, got two more in this part of the town. Two more crimes, and we'll get some more. We'll mark the next one on the map there. And I hope you guys are having a good day and everything's going good in y'all's lives.
All units, witness reported an active narcotics sale.
For
Need
those
immediate
of y'all
response
who
at Union Square.
find my channel and all that, welcome
Drug
y'all to
trade's gotten more
stay.
aggressive post-Fisk. Gotta stump that
That
out.
guy, he
come on,
got,
fellas. Can't keep
I mean, he
ducking
got
income
power
tax like
drive
this.
from what? Some 60 feet in the air. He had like 167-pound guy basically slingshot himself into him from like 60 feet up. So that guy, sure, yeah, he's unconscious, but boy, he's gonna have a severe headache when he wakes up. Just about done here with these boys. Alright, big man, calm down.
Drugs are maybe my most disliked criminal activity. Definitely top 5. Or bottom 5. However that works.
And with that, then with those boys unconscious and covered in web, we will move on to the next one. Another collectible, another backpack that we gotta, pick up. At least I'm pretty sure this one's a backpack.
Hot stuff coming through.
Yep, it's a backpack. Get down and grab this one.
An Oscorp visitor badge from when I interviewed there. Would have paid well, but Dr. Octavius offered the chance to really make a difference.
And there we go. We have 7 out of 55 backpacks in the entire city left to find. Awful many backpacks. Got a lot. Quite a few. And it's better, just find all the backpacks at the start of the game. So, once, you progress in the story, more side missions become
Tried
available.
mixing up a prototype web fluid at Oscorp while Harry had his internship there. Didn't work. That place has always been bad luck for me.
You don't want, to have, only one type of side mission left in the game once you beat the story and end up like most of all the other Arkham Knight or Arkham game players who either beat the main story, they do all the other side missions first, and then they only have the Riddler trophies and all that defined, and then they never do it. And that's the only thing they've got left, so they never end up 100%ing the game. Yeah, you don't want that in like Spider-Man. You don't want to end up like, collecting or looking for, backpacks, um, any of the landmarks, or any of the random crimes in progress at the end game when you've got nothing else to do.
Spider plushie! Oh, a toy designer made this prototype to get me to license my likeness. Too bad there's no way to get paid without revealing my identity.
It's better just to do all the easy stuff, like like the random crimes and find all the backpacks at the start of the game, and do the main story stuff afterwards, and then take a break from main story to do any more side collectible type side mission stuff as it pops up, so so you're not overwhelmed with the amount of stuff you have to do at the end game.
All I did was save this kid's balloon from floating away, and he made me this. It's the little things that make it all worth it.
Witness report
Yeah, there we go. We already got 10 out of 55.
Incident is active in Dutchtown. Over.
Ain't too many. Ain't too many we gotta find. Looky there. We got another crime in progress, so we'll drop down onto that poor guy's head from like 70 feet up. Don't worry, he's alive. Don't ask too many questions. A 170-pound guy drops down onto you from like 70 feet up. You, sir, you can hang out on the wall, kick you in the air, and don't worry, your back totally isn't broken.
I feel like the
we
hold-up guys are
promise.
phoning it in lately.
Thanks,
Spider-Man holds back like 90% of his true strength. We swear. And, on to the next little collectible. And, just, enjoy the swinging, all the swinging animations and all that. And it all feels really good and it's fun to do. And I know the general consensus were in Spider-Man games that peak swinging animations were like, the only thing the Spider-Man fans cared for, which is why everyone glazed like Spider-Man 2 for like ever, because it had like the best swinging animations for like the longest time. And then this game comes out in 2018, and I'm pretty sure the general consensus is that this game finally did
you'll be as good at breaking out as you were
what basically all the other Spider-Man games that came out since Spider-Man 2 couldn't do, and it surpassed Spider-Man 2 swing animations as the new standard for swinging animations, at least for Spider-Man games.
My injured shoulder eventually healed. The bill took a lot longer to pay.
Possible narcotics.
And then, the second game came out, and in my opinion, the swinging animations in that one are even better than this one. But, not too sure on the consensus on that game. I know everyone complains about the story in that one, but I don't think enough people are talking about the swinging animations and everything you can do in the air in that game, with all the tricks you can do in the air. They feel smoother than they do in this one. And and Peter and Miles and that one feel a lot more agile in the air. They feel like acrobats.
Nothing puts a pep in my step like halting an illegal drug
But
deal.
we'll save that discussion for Spider-Man 2 when we get there.
Thanks to Yuri, and the cops are on their way.
And we'll mark our next collectible on the map there. we'll make our way over there. And what was some of you guys' thoughts on this game when it came out back in 2018?
Nearest units converge on lower
Did y'all
Chinatown.
like it? Did y'all hate it? Was it good? What y'all like? What y'all not like? You know, stuff like that. Let me know. I'd like to hear it.
Harry's VIP card for the nightclub. Harry always tried to include me.
And apparently, I do apologize for, you know, some of the instances of
Nasty car wreck down there.
of the
People
map
might be hurt.
being of me going into the map and marking the next collectibles. I thought I had done a good enough job and cut out all of that. At least, you know, the looking at the map. You know, just for like ease of convenience for you guys, but apparently, at least before the 20-minute mark, I missed some of that, and for that
Glad I was here to help.
I am sorry, and I do apologize. I will, you know, I will work to do better than that in the future episodes. Just, you know, make the convenience and easier for you guys so it doesn't bog down what y'all really care about, hopefully, in watching this Let's Play. You care about the swinging animations and the story and all of that. You don't want to be bogged down looking at, you know, watching a guy look at the map and, you know, point in a mark and mark points of interest on a map. No, you want to see the guy go into those points of interest on the map and collecting them or doing a thing or punching the people in the face doing that thing. And there was another one right there I missed again as well. I'm pretty sure though I didn't miss any of the really intrusive ones of me really looking at the map and all that. So you guys got lucky
balance
there.
Work and a personal life. If I ever find time to read it.
That book there, you know, work-life balance for idiots. Kinda funny. And yeah, that kind of sums up, it seems like the Marvel writers' only ability to really write Spider-Man, in my opinion. They either do it, either him as a goofy teenager, or they only do him as in my opinion, most of the time an unfunny comedian who's trying to
Wilson
make
Fisk
quips.
Science Prize trophy. And check. I couldn't turn it down without arousing suspicion, but no way was I going to take his money, even though we could have used it. I did accept the lifetime supply of backpacks, though.
Or, you know, as an adult who somehow still hasn't managed to figure how to you know, make sense of his life, and he's like, you know, either a struggling family man with Mary Jane or Gwen Stacy or, you know, Felicia Hardy and all that stuff, or, you know, he's somehow being manipulated like by Mephisto or whatever to basically screw over his future happiness because, you know, one of the, you know, like primordial extra dimensional beings who likes messing with people and causing them misery in their life just enjoys messing with a struggling family man. It'd be really nice if the Marvel writers would, you know, get better at writing Spider-Man. It really seems like they're kind of stuck on that, in my opinion.
Dumpling recipe. Should have come with step 10. Try not to burn everything in MJ's apartment.
Attention units, we've got a 1010
And we
possible narcotics sale.
found another
Incident was reported
backpack
near Trinity.
right there, 15 of 55. Doing pretty good so far. Again, you know, Another instance of me missing out on the cutting out the unwanted boring stuff. Must do better. Must be. Just for entertainment value and, yeah, I don't know, I guess what? Professionalism, I guess?
I bought this used graphing calculator at a pawn shop. Stopped working in the middle of a trig exam. Huh, you get what you pay for.
We'll promise to strive to be better in that respect, guys. I
Pursuit in progress.
will
Location is
do
Seaport. Please
better
copy.
in cutting out the boring stuff. And we'll,
Better
we'll
stop
be
before they end
going
up with
after
driver's ed
this
videos.
runaway car and bad people who are not so friendly neighbors.
You are not getting 5 stars.
They're speeding, they're firing weapons into a civilian populace, they're running from the law, they're evading arrests, and they're distracting Spider-Man from collecting his backpacks. All 55 of them. How dare they? And now we can get back to the, well, almost.
I guess this
I was
is what
going
they
to
call
say, now we
organized
can
crime.
get back to the important stuff of collecting all the 55 backpacks that Peter had over his high school career and his time in high school.
Do auto insurers offer a
And,
webbing clause yet?
Presumably,
$1 million idea just
maybe
waiting to happen.
some of his college time as well. 55 backpacks. And all that stuff about him putting like tracking darts on his backpacks and all that. You'd really think in like the 8 years he's been doing this, he'd do a better job of keeping track of it.
Superheroing doesn't leave much time for good hygiene. Gotta get it where I can.
And like, keeping track of them, he wouldn't web them to like random objects and places around New York.
Armed robbery in progress.
He'd actually go back and, pick them up when he, would need them, you'd think. And just think, some of the stuff that he leaves in those backpacks are very, could be pretty good and useful and needed. Yeah, sure, the game only points out like one item specifically from the backpack. But, let's face it. In one of the backpacks, we find a textbook that he had in one of his backpacks from school. And we hear from the dialogue that he has that, that those textbooks, weren't cheap and all that. So what if he had, like his homework or something from an important test he had to take in one of those backpacks? Come on. You'd think he'd go back and get the stupid thing instead of looking for it like 8 years later. And then again, that's the other thing. It's like, we see him collect the backpacks, but we don't see what he does with them. What, does he take them all back to his apartment?
On their way.
What does he do with them all? He's got 55 backpacks. Man, you really wouldn't need that many, even though he says that, that from the Wilson Fisk Science Fair, he did agree to take the lifetime supply of backpacks. So presumably, Peter is still getting those backpacks from the Fisk Foundation.
Kidnapping reported. Incident is active in Park City.
People know my parents died in a plane crash, but I still can't tell anyone they were government agents. Wish I knew more about them. I wish anyone did.
Actually, would Peter not be able to tell people his parents worked for the government? Yeah, sure, he probably couldn't say, what they did for the government, but he shouldn't, but you'd think he'd be able to say, he's like, yeah, sure, yeah, just give like a vague description. Like, yeah, sure, yeah, they, like they worked for the government. They did government stuff. Or, stuff like that. It's like, just say that, that they did that, that they worked for the government. And, and he obviously wouldn't know what they did, but, he just say, yeah, no, yeah, they work for the government. And stuff like that. So don't know if I entirely, agree with that dialogue there, but, it's whatever. And there we have our next backpack, now that we can see more of the city. Got more thugs there before we go after our backpack. We got some more unfriendly neighbors.
Gotta stomp that out.
Time to encase them in web and jump over them and shoot webs in their face. And dodge their bullets. Well, partially dodge their bullets. And again, okay, I know this is game mechanics and all that, but come on. Anyone who knows anything about Spider-Man would absolutely know these big guys would absolutely get ragdolled, and they would not be able to block a punch from Spider-Man, even with him holding back like 98% of his real strength. Absolutely not. And and if they were to punch, I mean, come on. Anyone who knows Spider-Man, comic book accurate Spider-Man, is catching that guy's punch and stopping
Fisk
it
did keep
midair.
these wannabe pushers in check.
I
Wait,
mean,
what's
just,
that feeling?
and I get it.
miss it?
I know,
No.
for game challenge and gameplay mechanics,
Cops
and to
are
make
coming.
it fun
I've been
and
on
all
worse
that.
terms with him, but
But come on,
gotta remember to scope that Fisk
it's
construction site for
it's
Yuri.
just a little irritating. Just a little irritating.
Used these electrician's gloves in my first fight with Electro. Gave me the idea to add insulation to my costume, which saved my bacon more than once.
And right there, 19 backpacks out of 55. It ain't taking that long, guys. It ain't taking that long. And, look at that. We have more unfriendly neighbors. And we'll
Muggers
see if
never
we
take
can't
a
get
day
the
off.
drop on at least one of these guys if we're lucky. Looks like they're too bunched up together
Who
though,
wants a
so
picture?
we'll just slam that guy's head into the hard brick road there. We'll just slam his head into the ground and hope he doesn't wake up with brain damage let's face it, he's probably gonna wake up with a concussion. Alrighty, boys. There's only two of you left. One of you has a gun, and I can dodge your bullets. How do y'all think this is gonna go? Kick you, and punch you in the jaw. We're gonna punch you in the jaw so hard you go like 10 feet in the
Always
air,
nice to
but
stop
don't
mugging.
worry, we're
Gotta
not
stay strong in the
breaking your
fundamentals.
jaw
Thanks.
or dislocating your jaw. We're
Hard to
just
have money trouble.
literally punching you like 8 feet in the air. And your jaw absolutely is not being removed from the bottom part of your head. Don't worry, it totally isn't. Members of the Spider-Man fan promise you your jaw is not being removed with a punch that hard.
207, kidnapping reported.
And this is just me
Officers
just,
needed in Hudson
being
Town.
blind and not seeing the backpack right there. Don't mind me, guys.
My ESU ID badge from my semester as a teaching assistant. Didn't have time to stick with it, but I could definitely see teaching again someday.
And I wonder if the devs were foreshadowing that if they were foreshadowing that with how the second game starts with Peter being a teacher. I wonder if they were foreshadowing that, or if they just decided to, do it because, why not? And we find our another backpack over here.
Aunt May's recipe for wheat cakes. I could never make it work on my own.
And 21 out of 55 there, guys, for backpacks. We got more unfriendly neighbors. Come on,
An
guys.
assault. I better step in.
And we'll sneak attack you,
Try hitting me. Spoiler.
jump over
I hit
you,
back.
web you up, throw that at you. Kick you, kick you, kick you. We'll go between your legs. We'll assault you from the air, web you up, throw that pallet at you, have fun with that. Dodge your bullet. Kick you, kick you, kick you. Between your legs, dodge your bullet. And kick you in the air, and dangle you over the side of the building, slam you back down. And we will dodge your bullet in style. Alright, man, you're by yourself. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Don't worry, we promise. That man's
Hello,
jaw
laying
is
out
still
bullies.
attached.
Thanks. It used to be safe here.
We promise. His jaw is still attached to the rest of his head. We promise. And that's probably one of the most fun things in the game right there. Just, going off a tall building and diving down and just shooting your webs out at the last
Attention
second.
unit, drug deal reported.
Very
Need an
fun.
officer to check it
Very
out.
enjoyable.
Please proceed to Chelsea ASAP.
And just doing, we don't have that ability yet, but, once we unlock the tricks and we can start doing tricks in the air and all that, it gets really fun. It gets real fun. It gets real creative as well, seeing how different people travel and move around the city. And we got another tower here we can operate. We can get it working again. Got two more in this district of the city. Clearly, I did not do as good of a job as I thought I did, cutting out all the looking at the map portion of the video.
When the
We'll
vulture
do
cracked
better.
my eye lens, it almost blinded me. That was a wake-up call. Had to upgrade to a stronger material.
Off again for another collectible. Another collectible, another collectible, and more unfriendly neighbors. My goodness. And this one, we actually get close enough to this one to proc it right there. Y'all can see it right there. And we actually, this is our first
The jammer I whipped up
little
to jam Vulture's wings. Too bad he
you know,
improved them
crime
after that.
activity that we fail. Actually, we get the failed objective here for this one because we got close enough to it for it
How'd I lose
to
those
activate,
guys?
and there's the fail we see there. But we will complete it in due time. There will be a next time. We'll go for a dip in the New York Harbor and the docks.
With this vial of the lizard's blood, I was able to mix up a cure and turn him back into Dr. Connors. Too bad it didn't last.
And there we go. We got 24 out of 55. Making good progress. And we'll make up for that failure of stopping criminal activity by going over here and stopping this drug deal. We'll
Wouldn't be New
perch
York
up
without
up
a
here.
seedy drug deal.
See if we can't take out any of these boys stealthily first. Well, that didn't last long. That did not last long at all. So, go back to our tried and true method, throwing things at would-be common hoodlums with guns and
I'm losing it. Gotta catch up.
oh well, looky there, we got us some marooners.
Just drop me off at the jail.
Yo, hey boys, you boys can pull the car
Gotta
over
shut this
now.
down before someone gets hurt.
Y'all won't make it very far. Y'all do know that, right? And we'll take care of you right there. Just pop your head out. Thank you. Alright, driver, pull over. I said pull over, boy. And there we go.
Huh. Fisk did keep these
We got
wannabe
all the
pushers in
little
check.
bonus
Wait, what's
objectives
that
as
feeling?
well.
What? Miss him? No.
Oh, looky there. Someone took a
Probably
shot
better
at
if I'm not here when the cops arrive.
This was another, it's not really a side activity, but, or a side mission, but apparently this was, in my opinion, this was ingenious by the devs. They made it to
I
where
better be more careful
some
with
of
my adoring
Wilson
public.
Fisk's, men will attack you, but they're not dressed in the usual Fisk gear. They are, they're dressed in just normal civilian clothes. So like if normal civilians start shooting at you, there's almost a 99.9% probability that they probably work for a one Wilson Fisk. But if you guys are watching my Let's Play of it, y'all probably already knew that from watching, probably watching Jacksepticeye play this game forever ago. Or, anyone else, your favorite YouTuber or random YouTuber play this game forever ago when it came out. And we'll make our way up the building here for another collectible real fast.
Took a bullet from the cops back when they thought I was working with Electro. Good thing textbooks are thick. Too bad they're also expensive.
Yeah, and there's that textbook I was referencing earlier. And the game only references one specific item per backpack. But come on, how many changes of clothes do you think Peter has lost over the years? Because, realistically, it's got to be quite a bit.
This article blaming Spider-Man for Electro killing cops was the last straw. I had to quit taking pictures that helped Jameson print lies about me.
It's just areas where he would, stash his backpack with his civvy clothes if he would, need to change into and be Spider-Man. So for him to have had 55 backpacks and, just a small little look there into how many changes of clothes he's probably lost over the years, over his 8 years of being Spider-Man. Random, probably useless facts about the world of Spider-Man to think about for no reason and are completely useless to anyone and everyone. But, it's, nice to, think about.
Got some good parts from this old cell phone. Wonder what I could accomplish with a real budget instead of dumpster diving.
Just completely random, useless, superhero, trivia. Got 55 backpacks and presumably, civvy clothes as well in all of those backpacks. Just a useless bit of superhero knowledge, I guess. Once again, we go for a dip in the New York Harbor. You know that water that close to the docks has to stink. Both smell-wise and, location-wise.
After I got my powers, I didn't need my glasses anymore. Told everyone I got laser eye surgery with money from the Fisk Science Prize.
And yeah, we got that backpack, and we got another crime in progress. And once again, we end up in the stinky New York Harbor water. Stinky, stinky. Make it these hoodlums problem by, let's imagining that at least one of them gets a smell of that disgusting harbor water off Spider-Man. Let's just imagine that for a moment. That guy, that kick to the shoulder area there, the neck. Let's hope that guy probably doesn't end up paralyzed. That looked like a pretty hard kick. That guy, just getting ragdolled and pummeled by a metahuman. He ain't got no chance. Yeah, and that guy, he totally won't wake up with bruises after getting bounced off the hard concrete roof. Like that, he totally is going to wake up and not have back pain. He got bounced like a ball. He got bounced like a bouncy ball on hard concrete, too. And then, there's the G forces as well from getting forcefully pulled
All units, we have reports
back to the ground by a metahuman.
Came in from near Ansonia. Over.
And it sucks for these boys. All these petty criminals. Maybe Jonah was right. Maybe Spider-Man is a menace. I mean, if he's doing this to petty criminals, just imagine what he's doing to the people who actually, the people he actually doesn't like. And, like the people who could actually take a punch from Spider-Man.
Would you look at that? Half the crime tower's back up already.
When Spider Cop's on the job, come hell or high water, the job gets...
Nope.
She'd never admit it, but the chief was warming up to Spider Cop. His casual disregard for by-the-book thinking was a breath of fresh air. She'd come around. Someday. MJ wrote this article in the school paper about student protests. She was a heck of a journalist even then.
And with there, we get the little check-in from Captain Watanabe. We've got, halfway done with getting all the towers back online, so that'll kind of give you an idea for where we are at least in revealing the map. And once again, thank you Ubisoft for sponsoring all the towers in New York, all the crime towers in New York.
Gotta be nearby.
There, I did not mean to activate my suit ability there. We find the hostage in the trunk.
Terrifying. Thank you. There! Those are the guys who did it!
Looky there. There's the no good neighbors. And there, once again, we're just going to pick up a metal mailbox, a trash can, a metal one at that, and we're just going to yeet that at, these normal hoodlums with a crowbar and guns, and we're just going to eat them like 9 feet in the air, 10 feet in the air, and we're gonna slam them back onto the ground with asphalt and all that, and we're gonna shoot sticky projectiles into their faces, and we're gonna, punch them and kick them, and we're gonna make them look like fools. We're gonna web them to walls. I mean, maybe Jonah was right. Maybe the webhead is a menace. Gonna wait for him to get up, or you're gonna stick him to a wall.
Thanks, Spider-Man. I'd have been at the bottom of the Hudson if it weren't for you.
Thanks, big guy.
Guy in the trunk. Man, feel like I say this every 20...
Continue on, I guess, being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. More like the friendly neighborhood menace, am I right? At least in the criminals' perspectives, maybe. We are running low on the towers, though. Making more progress there. Got another collectible we can see on the map.
Backup needed for a chase in progress. Please proceed to Columbia.
Aw, the good luck card from when I left the Daily Bugle to go into research. Some really great people there. And Jameson.
And I guess, we can kind of infer Peter's opinion on Jameson even after all those years later.
Driver's ed videos.
Taking pictures of him, and Jameson constantly, bad mouthing the Speederman, saying he's a menace and all that. Isn't too highly regarded by Peter. Right there, the driver, he managed to, get me off the car, but you can't just let him get away. You gotta stop him. Reckless driving and all that.
Reinforcements. I guess this is what they call organized crime.
You got more friends, so you gotta punch them, kick them, shoot them with webs. Throw mailboxes at them, little drop-off boxes. You gotta throw car doors at them. Gotta kick them.
Gotta give that wheelman props.
All that
Manhattan
good
rush hour
stuff.
is no joke.
We promise, they don't receive any life-threatening injuries. They might wake up with concussions and all of that, but we promise they'll live.
Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. Why doesn't it ever feel like it?
And we found another one there. Make our way over to this one. There, find some more notable landmarks around New York and all that, or at least, Marvel's New York. Get another tower here.
We're making our way over from Pier 4 now.
And there we go. Now we can see all the collectibles in this part of the map and make it easier to see any of the crimes in progress.
Supposedly, Fisk made his fortune selling these spices. I mean, they're good, but not that good.
Local units, an assault was just
Looky
reported.
there,
Be
we got
advised.
32 out of
Proceed to
55.
Morningside
So
Heights.
we are almost done with the backpack collect-a-thon. Hey, but hey guys, hey, look at it this way. 55 backpacks versus like 440 Riddler trophies in Batman Arkham City. Which would y'all rather collect? 55 backpacks or 440 in Arkham City.
Oh, what?
I think I
Not
know
fun
which
getting
one
beat
most
up?
people
Well,
would
sit with that for
probably
a
say
while.
they'd rather collect.
They were gonna kill me.
So it ain't that bad, collecting all the stuff. It ain't that bad. And like I said in the Arkham Knight and, playthrough in all the Arkham games, the key to Riddler is moderation. You do it in moderation.
One of these days I'll work out a fabric that warps sound and light waves. A stealth suit would really come in handy.
You do a little of Riddler, then you do main story stuff. And it's only bad if you have nothing else to do except Riddler. You just do it in moderation. And that's true for basically any game like that. You do it in moderation, and it can be fun and enjoyable. Just not when that's the only thing you've got left to do. That's when it becomes not fun and, not enjoyable. That's the key. Moderation. And we're almost out of towers. Almost.
Wish I knew who made this comic about me. Kid's got a future.
All units. Witnesses are reporting civilians
We're
are trapped
almost out of
following a car
backpacks
crash.
as well.
Officers needed in
And
God's Acre.
of the
Over.
petty crimes as well. Pretty sure. Pretty sure.
Serious car accident down there. Looks bad.
Yeah, car crash here.
Help me! Please!
And what some of y'all's opinions on the turning on or turning off the or like using or not using the automatic QTE feature in this game?
The driver must have been hopped up. Caused the whole
Well,
wreck.
Whoever caused
my
this wreck is
opinion
nearby.
on
Need to find and stop
QTEs
them.
and they can be good, if they're done right. But back in those early days, they weren't as good. They were just
Got points left on
button
your
mashers.
license,
And
guys. That pileup was a
they earned a bit of a bad rap in most people's opinions, and then they were overused in other people's opinions. And, as long as they're done in moderation or at least somewhat well, I think they can be fun. And but me, kind of like the option, just to have them automatically done if that's an option. And in this Spider-Man game, that is an option. So,
10-10. Possible narcotics
just make it a
reported.
little easier.
Officers needed in God's Acre. Over.
Make our way over here to the cemetery for another backpack.
Rejected costume designs. Not bad, but I think the White Spider was definitely the way to go.
I think that one was a Sam Raimi Easter egg from
We have an
the
armed
first
robbery in a commercial
Spider-Man
area.
movie.
Nearest officer, please
For,
proceed to Hamilton Heights.
Oh, when Peter was still designing his suit, I think. And with that, guys, we are at the end here, and same old, same old. If you liked, and you know what to do, and I'll see you in the next one.